The Nintendo 64, the gaming system that had a bunch of wonderful and intuitive games. The first time Nintendo was transformed was transitioning from a 2D experience with the NES and moving to new heights with 3D. And for most people, their childhood, as many who have grown up with the system have very fond memories of gaming on it. So in today's video, I am going to be exploring many of the things that made the Nintendo 64 what it is today, diving deep into the history, tech specs, and great games that it had. And at the end, giving you my thoughts on the console in my eyes. So, let's get started. To really get a good idea as to why the Nintendo 64 is successful, we first need to look at the history as to where it all started. Granted, keep in mind I am not going to spend as much time on the history section of the video, as this would be at least 6 hours long, and by then I don't want to bore you with the history lesson, so I am just going to be brief. So, let's begin. It all began when a company named Silicon Graphics was looking to expand their business and were looking into the video game market. And they had a prototype ready to be shown, which was a 64-bit CPU, which consumed one-third of the power and half the price. They showed their product to a few big names, which one of them was Sega, but had turned it down, so they went straight to Nintendo and spoke to the president at the time, Hiroshi Yamauchi. That was then the codename Project Reality was born. Originally, the Nintendo 64 was going to be released in Christmas of '95, but due to development issues, there was a little bit of a delay there because Nintendo claimed at the time they needed more time for changes to be made and third parties to get their games on the 64. So they delayed the console until June of 1996, and the rest is history. Talk to you about the tech specifications, which I'm going to tell you guys right now. Please take this as a grain of salt, as some of what I'm going to be talking about could be wrong. With that, let's move on. So here we go. It says that for the tech specs, it is and that tell me if I got this wrong, okay? Since I'm going to be reading this off. CPU type MIPS 64-bit RISC CPU customized R4000 series. CPU clock speed 93.75 MHz. Memory Rambus DRAM 36 mbit. Transmission speed maximum of 4500 mbit per second. Coprocessor RCP Sound and Graphics Processor and DP Pixel Drawing Processor Incorporated. Coprocessor clock speed 62.5 MHz. Picture resolution 256 to 224 negative 640 x 45 dots. Flicker free enlaced mode support. Color 32-bit RGBA pixel color frame butter support. 21-bit color video output. Graphics processing functions. Z buffering, anti-aliasing, realistic texture mapping, tri-linear map interpolation, environment mapping, perspective connection. Dimensions width 260 millimeters, 10.23 times depth 190 millimeters, 7.48 times height, 73 m 73 millimeters, 2.87. Weight, 1.1 kilogram, 2.42 pounds. Alright, so after all the things I needed to cover in the last 3 lines, now let's talk about the games for a second here, as those are always the bread and butter of any console. So I decided to pick out games that in my eyes are good, but keep in mind that most of the games I have not played. So let's get started. Here is my games list. Number 10, Super Mario 64. A great game, very wonderful experience. Lots of people remember this game. I played it before, a really solid game if you're looking for a great adventure on the 64. Number 9, Mario Kart 64. A great experience overall. I played this game once when I was very little. I don't remember exactly, but Mario Kart 64 has a lot of fun memories with a lot of people, including myself. I um, I think this game is great. It's a great multiplayer mm, co- racing experience for a lot of families, for a lot of friends who want to get together and just play and have a good time. So that's it. Number 8 is Mario Party. Mario Party has got to be the staple of multiplayer games. This is a great experience, and I believe it makes for a great party game for a lot of families, for a lot of friends who come over, and for a lot of great experiences. And many people have fun memories with this one as well, including Mario Party 2 and 3. Number 7, Mario Party 2, same as the first game, and Mario Party 3, same as the first game as well. Since all three of these games are the same experience, and all of these games hold a special place in their heart with added content, with added content to them in every iteration. Number 5, Paper Mario. A great experience overall. It's a it's a good experience if you want a good RPG. Uh, I haven't played this game yet. I heard about the game. I've seen some clips of the game, but from what I've seen, it's a great game, a great a great RPG if you want a great RPG. There's a lot of stuff in there that you can do in there. It's just a fun experience overall. So yeah. Number 4, Diddy Kong Racing. Same year as Mario Kart 64 released. Um, it's a great it's a great expansion of Super Mario of Mario Kart 64. I mean, sorry, I keep mixing up Super Mario 64 and Mario Kart 64, but it's a great expansion of Mario Kart 64. Um, and and I'm glad that Diddy Kong, one of the Kongs, had their own racing game. I'm very happy about that. Um, it has a lot of fun, great modes, and it keeps it going, and it's a fun party game for all ages to enjoy. So there we go. I haven't played this game yet, but I hear it's a good experience. Number 3 is Banjo-Kazooie, and number 2 is Banjo-Tooie. These two games are very great if you want a new platformer other than Mario if you want. I It's got a lot of content in there, and but there's a lot of collectibles there too. If you don't like if you don't like if you don't if you find the collectibles kind of repetitive, then yeah, it's not gonna be a good experience. But if you like it, then you get it. But Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie are two great games. They are fun. They are packed with content as well as like the other games I've just listed here too. So they're great in their own retrospect as well. They're great in their own way. So here we go. And number one, the obvious one for me is Super Smash Bros. I was going to pick this one as number one. It is actually my favorite game. My favorite game in the Nintendo 64 lineup. To me, it is a game with a lot of packed content, with a lot of things that you can expect. There's just things about it that I enjoy, and it holds a really special place in my heart. And I really do like the other iterations after that. It's just a really fun experience, really cartoony, uh, a great experience overall. You cannot go wrong with this game. Along with the packed content that it goes with, it's it's just a fun experience overall. So I recommend this game 100%. Overall, I believe the Nintendo 64 has a lot of great potential, and it did with the awesome games they put for the system and the introduction of 3D. It was great, but one thing that made it not so successful in the end is that it did not compete well with the Sony PlayStation, and many third party developers find it hard to make new titles for the system because, due to the rising cost of getting the game on a the PlayStation because of cost, and could hold more data because of the disc they used at the time. While the Nintendo 64 still used cartridges for their games, which I believe that developers didn't like the idea at all with that, and they wanted to produce more content, which means the cartridges cost even more money. So yeah, all in all, it is still a great system, and many people do still play it to this day. And for most, it brings back many childhood memories.